Woo, okay. Let's see if anyone's waiting on me.
Yeah, I actually sent the link out to a couple people that I know, and even I posted it on a few
We're
Facebook
live.
groups.
We're
Okay.
live. Okay.
All right.
Got you.
So, yeah, hopefully a lot of people will see those links that I sent out right there.
Okay.
Two of them said that they can't wait to see it, and that's a good thing.
All right.
Pull this up on my phone here. That way I can see this right here that's going on right now in the meantime, because like I say, I got my notes showing right here.
Hey, Ragers. Let's wait till we get a few more people in the room here. We've got 2 people. Oh, we got 6. All right. When we get 10, I will go ahead and start. How you Ragers doing today? How's everyone doing today? Your comments, throw your comments in there. Show me some love in the comments. Tell me how you're doing. We got 6 Ragers in the chat. Let's get 4 more and then we'll start. Hey, there's my comments. There you go. Hey, SC, how are you? Booty juice. Okay. How are you? Texan, long time no speak. Hanging in there like a hammock in a hurricane. Psh, for real. We all are. Horatio. Oh, you're doing well. How am I doing? I'm okay. I'm still up. Trump 2020. Love it. Oh, we have a little, I don't know. What is this, a poem here? Little rhyme. What to do, what to do. It's a full court pressure. Trump's just going for the 2. I like that. All right. Have I heard about the DC march on Saturday? Yes, I actually just had a Proud Boy. A Proud Boy just contacted me and told me about it, but I had heard about it on Twitter from several other people first. But he's the first person I know besides Brandon and his team who are actually going. Thomas, how are you? I'll just get 2 more people in the chat and then I will introduce today's guests and what we were talking about. Real quick, though, I'm going to go ahead and stuff my face with this little tangerine here. What? These aren't tangerines. What are these called? Mandarins. Mandarins. The homies are caravanning. Good, man. If I was, I mean, if I'd have known everything that was gonna happen, I would have just went ahead and like sent in my absentee ballot, and then just stayed on the East Coast. All right, is the stream okay? The quality's okay? Okay. Thank you, SC Burning. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Please share. And if you are not already subscribed on the Patreon, please get on the Patreon. Lioness, how are you? As you can see down at the bottom of the screen, I already have a list of the 5 percenters that have already donated on the Patreon. If you want to see your name there, hook a sister up, guys. Remember, a lot of you have been on my journey with me since 4 or 5 months ago, and I have never asked for money. Go back and ask my old school ragers that. I've never, ever, ever asked for money. But I'm asking for money now, guys. So please go ahead and hit the Patreon Let me put that on there. This is the Patreon here, American 5%. If you are a Patreon, that automatically makes you a 5%er, which means you're the best of the best. You're the cream of the crop. You're at the top of all patriots, in my opinion, because you're the ones who watch my videos from beginning to end. You're the ones who are civically involved. You are the ones who are supporting your favorite YouTubers and patriots, and you are the ones who are going to help save this country. So that's what makes you a 5%er. Okay. I don't want to wait too much longer, but let me go ahead and just introduce my guest. So guys, let's talk about 5%ers for a second. So one of my 5%ers, he has been super supportive of me. He's actually a big fan of my girl Verstine of Truth or Talk. I'm sure he's been following her well before he started following me. He's a big supporter of several other patriots. He's supported the walkaway movement financially and otherwise. This gentleman is a guy, I've been talking to him on the phone, for a while now. This guy gets it. This guy really, really gets it. He not only does he get it, but he understands that there's a psychological battle that needs to happen, and that this is not all as simple as an election. This is about transforming the minds and hearts of all American people, because let's be honest here. We got a lot of stupid motherfuckers in this country. We got a lot of stupid motherfuckers in this country, a lot. And they're living right next door to us. They're in our families. They're in our workplaces. They're our best friends. They're our roommates. There are people that we're in relationships with. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything here, but even Steven of PT News, he talks about it all the time, how his wife, as much Antifa coverage as he does, his own wife voted for Joe Biden. So clearly, we've got these idiots in our own family. You might be in a relationship with one. But basically, the sentiment among conservatives is, let's just get Donald Trump elected. I mean, up to this point, the sentiment has been, let's just get Donald Trump elected. And once Donald Trump's elected, we don't have to do any more work. No, that's not how this is going to happen. Getting Donald Trump elected is basically just a protection against communism. That's it. That's all Donald Trump can do, because you see, Donald Trump is one person, and there's 71 million of us, plus our kids that aren't old enough to vote yet. So we need to make sure we're protecting their minds and their hearts, and fulfilling them with good morals and good values, and good parenting. Not that I was the best parent, but my kid sure as fuck ain't never gonna join Antifa. I know that. Anyway, Matthew and I have been talking for a while, and Matthew has a plethora of ideas. He considers himself a strategic warfare planning specialist, and based on the conversations that I've had with him, I had to bring him on the show. So would you all please welcome Matthew Red Eye.
Hello, everybody. I'm Matthew Red Eye, strategic political warfare planning specialist.
That was too many words. Sorry.
Sorry. But, I mean, it's the truth. I'll try to make it more simple for everybody in the future, and we can work on it, since, of course, this is our first broadcast together. And it is an honor to finally be on a broadcast with you, Red Pill. I've been watching you. I love your energy. Speaking of energy, my fellow conservatives, for so long, we have had way too much faith that our vote is going to count at the polls, okay? And yes, we need to have that faith. But as Red Pill just said, that's not enough. Getting Donald Trump elected, I'm sorry, bullshit is not enough, okay? I was actually talking with an older voter earlier that's basically a relative of mine, and they think that the best thing to do is just to keep going out there and talking to more Democrat voters and trying to get them converge. Well, let me tell you, we've been doing that already. Now, granted, it's been working with hashtag walk away and Blexit. And yes, it's working. But look at the bullshit we're dealing with right now with this whole election. Okay? We didn't see this coming. And it's obvious the left had. Joe was taking so many naps in the basement before coming out and looking more than half dead on the video every time we'd see him at one of his little 1 to 2 person rallies.
Hold on. I got to do the official weekend at Bernie's dance, okay?
Please do.
Go ahead. Because every time I hear Joe Biden's name, I have to do the weekend at Bernie's dance.
I know everybody. President Trump named him Sleepy Joe. I like to refer to him as Sleepy Sloppy Joe. So, because he's quite sloppy just in his appearance and the way he talks and everything. He's very sloppy. So, yeah, I call him Sleepy Sloppy Joe.
Mm-hmm. So listen.
Go ahead.
Okay, so strategic political warfare planning specialist.
Yes.
So as you're saying, you notice that there is some momentum with walk away. There's some momentum with Blexit. There's some momentum with Latinos for Trump, okay, particularly Cubanos for Trump. But you see a lack of unity and you see a lack of cohesiveness in the conservative area. And that's something that you wanted to address.
Absolutely. And I am definitely going to be addressing all of that for sure. Now, I did kind of make myself a little list of the things I want to talk about. And as we speak right now, I'm looking at it right here on a Microsoft Word page. I can't see you, but you guys can see me. But don't mistake me. Like, this is the best. Just because I'm using a teleprompter, please don't mistake me for Sleepy Sloppy Joe. Please don't do that. Okay? So, but even with everything I want to say, unfortunately, sometimes I can't quite remember all of it. So yes, I'll be honest, I have to write it down because I got so much going through my mind. I'm a machine. I'm a thinking machine. That's why I like to consider myself a strategy specialist. But I do have to write it down because I'm not perfect. So
okay, go ahead. No worries.
Anyway,
we're not judging you. We're just happy you're here. We're not judging.
Thank you very much. A prime example of why we're losing, and I'm not saying we lost this election because guess what? President Trump is still in, and just because you don't see it on the news, yes, this shit is going to go to court. And, you know, and to be honest, for right now, that's President Trump's best method is that the media is not covering it, okay? Because let them, quite frankly, right now enjoy the little political porn show that they're putting on for the rest of us. Let them continue jacking off on that political porn show. That'll keep them busy in the meantime while we execute, while we plan and execute in the meantime, okay? So don't get nervous just because you don't see it on the media in the meantime. Let them do their thing while we do ours, okay? So anyway, the bottom line is we didn't exactly use the right strategies thus far. I mean, yes, granted, President Trump has gotten more black votes and more Hispanic votes than virtually any other Republican president, which is a first and which is a good thing. But how do we counterattack big tech, the media, and the Democrats in general? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. But first, before I do that, I need to give all of us just a little bit of a history lesson. All right.
Please.
And let's first start by analyzing this whole situation before us. Okay. Now, I want you to kind of work with me on envisioning right here. Okay. Think of right now as the Democrats as the Persian Empire in 2300 BC, the army of the Chinese 800 years ago, and the British army during the American Revolution. All right, that's the Democrats. Now, think of the conservatives and everybody that voted for Trump. we are Alexander the Great, also of 2300 BC. We are the smallest army of Genghis Khan 800 years ago. And we're the smaller army of the American colonists who were actually militia that were badly outnumbered by the most powerful army in the world at the time. Now, obviously, we all know what happened. Alexander the Great defeated the Persian Empire. Genghis Khan obviously defeated the Chinese to where they couldn't mess with him as he built the Mongol Empire. And obviously, we won the American Revolution. Now, how did that happen? Because they did it with smart strategic thinking and planning before effective execution. Are you with me?
I'm with you. With you.
Okay. All right. And please, anybody that has any questions for right now, please put them in the chat. And keep in mind, this is only the first episode with Red Pill having me on. You can definitely send questions to Red Pill Rage long after this broadcast. In the upcoming broadcast, I will be answering those questions as we move forward. Okay? So don't think this is a one-time only. It isn't. Now, in this election, as I stated before, we had more votes come out red, and but because of that, the Democrats, although they're the bigger army right now, use guerrilla warfare against us with fake ballots. And of course, they have their little army of mercenaries, the mainstream media, and they can afford to have that. So that's their mercenaries. The question is, how do we begin combating more effectively? Well, I read a couple sections from this book right here, Sun Tzu, The Art of War. And quite frankly, we seriously need to start reading this book and educating ourselves. In step one, I'm going to discuss one quote that I saw in here. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. And now you're asking yourself, what exactly does that mean and how do we apply it? Well, we first start by uniting our forces, unlike how we've done so in the past. So far, conservative YouTubers have worked as individuals on their channels.
Right.
What if we all started coming together more and more in an effective network? See, one thing the Democrats are very good at, and I got to hand it to them, they're great at networking. Okay? They really are. We as conservatives suck at networking. We need to change that.
Right.
Now, if some of us sell things, then we need to buy from each other and encourage others to start their own money-making methods through their God-given skills. Like Red Pill has mentioned before in some of her videos, she's a chef, for instance. You know what I mean? She knows how to cook, and guess what? We all need to eat. You know what I'm saying? So
well,
I'm
not cooking anymore, but I have studio space to sell. So if anyone needs studio space in Vegas, come talk to me.
In doing this, and that was just one example right there. Okay, where was I? I'm sorry, I lost my place right here. And like I said, I'm reading my little teleprompter, but don't mistake me for Sleepy Sloppy Joe, please.
No, it's okay. You have a lot of points to cover. It's totally fine. Take your time.
Absolutely. In doing this, we will have to, in a sense, create our own economy. We then build it up gradually, the same time that the left has done with big tech and how they've infiltrated the mainstream media over the years. See, they're strategic in what they were doing. Now we have to do the same thing. We will also have to encourage our fellow conservatives who are tech savvy to create not just new platforms, but also even tangible pieces of technology that we as consumers use. For example, if a conservative can build a computer that works just as well as computers from big tech companies, then we can start permanently boycotting big tech companies, although we can work amongst ourselves, okay? There is currently at least 70 million Trump supporters in this nation, bare minimum, And that's a lot of consumers. And of course, we can hire amongst ourselves through proper networking. Just like we all agree that we have to reduce our dependency on foreign countries, well, now we have to start reducing our dependency on liberal establishments.
That's right.
We do this quietly while we still maintain business with the outside world, and we can build quietly. We only advertise amongst ourselves right now, which can be done in old school networking methods. For example, you get on the phone with some of your conservative friends. You talk to each other, okay? It's like living off the grid. However, at the same time, we are building up the grid and staying off the radar. This will also ensure that conservatives won't have to be silent anymore for fear of getting fired for their political beliefs. Our voice will grow much louder this way, and we will begin draining the swamp and making their big donors lose business and therefore lose money. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Now, that's step number one. Step number two, and this is also under the quote from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. If his forces are united, separate them. As we build, we continue to push #walkaway and Blexit, for example, as well as any other platforms like LGBTQ for Trump, whatever, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever group you work with. It don't matter. Okay? To pull voters from Democrat to Trump conservative, simultaneously, we begin to reach out to Democrat politicians who start off in the middle. For example, it's very obvious that there are a lot of Democrat congressional members who wouldn't have voted for impeachment that obviously got blackmailed by Nancy Pelosi. The same way the Democrats approach the Rhino Republicans and get them to back off is the same way we need to start approaching Democrats and secretly back them as if they work with us. This is also why step one is so important, so that we can have something to offer them. At the same time, we hold the Rhino Republicans' feet to the fire the same way that the DNC holds their middle Democrats' feet to the fire. All right? Mm-hmm. This way, we are making our base stronger and theirs weaker, and we do it quietly and methodically. Next thing you know, we will create a Democrat of John McCain that will vote against the Democrats when one of their biggest pieces of legislation is being pushed through. For example, when John McCain, when he was supposed to vote on repealing Obamacare and making it better, he goes like this. We want to try to get a Democrat to do the same thing to the Democrat establishment when the time comes. And a great example of that would be Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who was the Democrat from New Jersey who voted no on impeachment despite all the immense pressure he was under, and he switched to the Republican Party. And by the way, he just won re-election as a Republican, and the Democrats threw a lot of money at his opponent trying to get him the hell out of there. The same way Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell's opponents had big money given to their campaigns, but Mitch and Lindsey both beat their ass like a drum. And we all remember in 2018 when Beto O'Rourke was campaigning against Ted Cruz, a lot of money went to Beto O'Rourke's campaign, but guess what? Ted still beat that ass, all right? So that should be proof to us, and we need to start kind of reaching out to our Republican candidates. Don't be afraid of big money, and don't be afraid of the media. You stick to your principles, and that'll resonate a lot better. And we're going to start getting the message out about that gradually, because that's what's key right there. And that's one way we can definitely overcome the mainstream media and big tech. And the reason the reason why money didn't matter is because, like I just said, because the voters can see what's going on, and the Washington, they're complacent in their own way sometimes, fortunately. Like they still think just throwing big money at a candidate is going to get them elected. If that was the case, Ted Cruz would have not gotten reelected. Neither would Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. Okay. And I don't think Jeff Van Drew would have either. Okay. So let's just leave it at that right there. Okay. Let me see. We now see what our elected officials do. And like I said, no amount of advertising can change our minds, meaning big money being thrown at candidates. And if we see that, well, guess what? That's why Jeff Van Drew won. And like I said, why Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell won, because what we saw them do is they defended Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, and the voters saw it. We need to convince Democrat candidates that if they move over, we will take care of them come re-election so they can continue to represent us. So the same blackmail tactics that we use a kinder version of blackmail, but I don't like to call it blackmail. I would call it just being very influential. And okay, this is how we can start separating their forces. By then by doing this in secret, the next time we have an election and they try to cheat, they're gonna get exposed with their ass hanging out. Okay, so that's it on that end for right now. That's my beginning right there. And like I said, there will be future broadcasts with you, Red Pill, on this. So, but I just wanted to put that down for kind of an opening for right now. So,
no, I love it. And months ago, I talked about analog communication needing to be something that we need to start implementing. It's something that the Proud Boys do. And
precisely.
They're very effective at it. They know how to, I mean, listen, Antifa is jumping on our pages and looking at what we're doing. So we need to be jumping on their Antifa pages. They all have Twitter profiles. They all have Facebook.
Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, I've actually followed a lot of the trolls that have fucked with me on Twitter because I want to know what they're thinking. I want to know what they're doing, what they're planning. So we need to get our heads out of the stands and stop assuming we're going to know how they're going to react to certain things. Because when Antifa is organized,
one thing I learned a long time ago in the military: don't ever assume shit. You're just, like one of my favorite movies is Under Siege 2 with Steven Seagal. That guy says, I assumed he was dead. And Everett McGill said, assumption's the mother of all fuck ups. You're goddamn right it is. It is the mother and father of all fuck ups.
Yeah, and I think that most Americans made the wrong assumption by assuming.
Actually, assumption's the mother and complacency is the father of all fuck ups. Let me just put it that way.
One of the things that was that I think has been most bothersome to me is the fact that I'm not even talking about the Patriots, but most law-abiding American citizens that want to do the right thing, or they've been guilted by their college professor into feeling sorry for brown people. Unfortunately, these people are our enemies right now, but even I don't think most regular Americans, whether they're leftists or righties, nobody really thought that everything was going to turn out like this. Nobody really thought BLM was a threat. Nobody really thought Antifa was real. Right. And for all these years, we might see them at Occupy Wall Street. We might see them at this. We saw several of them at the Dakota pipeline issue when that was happening 4 or 5 years ago. They kind of crept up on us.
Precisely. They crept up on us because their warfare strategy is better than ours. It really is. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Yes, I blame conservatives for being too complacent. We need to stop this shit, people. We really do.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. So think back to analog communication. You know, guys, listen, I'm guilty of this too. There are certain little things you can do to try to help yourself from getting banned off of social media platforms. Like one of them, unfortunately, just stop hashtagging MAGA, stop hashtagging Trump. It's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that our posts and our videos are
searchable. Go to parlor.com to start with. Massive movement out of Parler right now, and quit watching Fox News. Go to what's the new one now? Come on. I keep thinking OAM, but OAN Newsmax. OAN's on that.
So as I was saying,
and continue to listen to you.
All right. So I lost my train of thought again. Okay, so listen, guys, like don't put cuss words in your posts. If you're gonna put cuss words in your posts, spell them incorrectly on purpose so that you're not getting flagged with. So sometimes it's not even political. Sometimes you can get flagged for harassment or bullying if you call somebody a bitch or if you call someone an asshole. So find ways to misspell those words so that if you're on mainstream platforms, you can be kind of careful. Another thing that I did, not that there's that many subscribers on there, but I do have a YouTube backup channel. So if this main channel with over 4,000 subscribers gets taken off, I do have a backup channel. And you know what I do on my backup channel? I don't title any of my videos. And I do that on purpose. I don't hashtag anything. I don't have any main headers that have, I don't even put Donald Trump's name in any of the videos. If I'm trying to spell out Proud Boys, I'll put a space between each letter. I mean, there's ways you got to get creative to kind of trick that.
That's kind of like working in codes. The military do that too. They speak in codes. We got to learn how to speak in codes.
Yeah,
we need our own little covert languages, so to speak.
Right. We need our own covert.
I think like a military strategist.
And then, of course, last but not least, and I say it all the time, guys, you have got to start joining the blockchain platforms. Now, here's some good news. I was reading an article about Parler a couple of days that came out a few days ago. And Parler, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but like the software on it, like, I'm going to be honest, it does kind of suck. And that's because it's small and because they don't have the financial backing or the years of experience that Twitter has. But they said that between September and November, the usage on Parler has gone up 1 million members. So that's a great thing to celebrate. Is, you know, unfortunately,
what I do know that they need to expand their bandwidth. So they just probably need more servers. Learning a little bit about tech stuff now, just learning little by little, I do know that's probably a problem. Because they're so underfunded, they probably only had but so much bandwidth. Now all of a sudden they're getting a shit ton of new profiles, which is awesome, but at the same time they don't have enough bandwidth. So just give them time. They just need to build their bandwidth. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, like I said, that's where step one of what I talked about comes into play. We build ourselves as an economy better. We can then contribute to stuff like that financially. And like I said, that's what I'm talking about as far as all of us supporting each other. You know, we work for and with each other, you know, everything. You know, it's like we got to kind of set, you know, we can still continue to do business with the left, but just, you know, we do what we do undercover. Makes sense?
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's what they've done with us for so long. Now we need to do the same thing.
Yeah, we are. So once again, I just want to encourage all the ragers. Parler, look, guys, Parler's not the only one. There's a similar one called Gab. For those of you who love TikTok, I'm not going to lie, I still use TikTok, but I'm not trying to build a following on there. And I just use TikTok to make videos. But there is an alternative that a lot of people are using. All the big name conservatives that you love have gone over to News Clapper. And then we also have another one called Byte, and it's called BYTE.
And I'm actually going to be starting something then too, as soon as I gain a few more tech skills because I'm just planning. By the time I execute and I get it out there, I want it to work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on something too. So little by little.
And then we also have for video uploading, guys, remember Vimeo is pretty good, but the problem with Vimeo is you have to pay to use it and no one's really on there. Rumble is the one that Dan Bongino, I don't know how to say his name.
I know his name's confusing, but
so
he's a good guy. We love him.
He came up with Rumble, and then my personal favorite to use is Library, and that's LBRY. All the major conservatives that you know and love are on there. We also have BitChute as another video streaming platform that is very conservative friendly, very pro free speech. So
you
guys,
should put all this on your website, all these little links to all these little places right here, since you're talking about it. You should put it on your website. That way people can click on it.
You know I'm giving you this look, right? Because I'm 10 miles ahead of you. All right.
Awesome.
Listen, it's on my website because you saw the list the other day when I showed it to you. You already know it's on my website, so I don't know why you told me.
My short-term memory sometimes.
And if I can finish my sentence.
Absolutely.
All of my links are in my show notes, so I'm way ahead of you, but thank you. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, please jump on the blockchain platforms. You're going to be safer there. You're probably there would have to be a lot you would do to have to get kicked off, but you're not going to get kicked off for criticizing the media or criticizing celebrities or politicians or even each other. I mean, that's one thing I like about Parler is that if the trolls want to have it out with you, then the trolls can go ahead and have it out with you. You know, you can block people if you need to, but you also don't need to worry about it so much. You're not going to get a harassment charge for, speaking the truth. So what other points did you have, Matthew?
I've already covered pretty much everything right there, just for starters. So if anybody has any questions, which I hope you will, you can actually, I would say the best thing to do, Red Pill, is have everybody send in the questions from me to you, okay. And then, like I said, the next time we do a live broadcast, I can answer some of those questions right here on your channel, because why should I do things on my little channel when you've already got a little following? I'm getting the message out better, and that's all I want to do for right now, is get the message out, because we need it out there. And like I said, we all need to start working together instead of working as individuals all the time. It's not working. So just want to say that.
Did the stream stop?
I don't know. Let me look on my phone. No, it says we're still live. Interesting. Yeah, I'm getting text messages saying that that's all they're getting. I mean, maybe they're not getting it live. Who knows? I don't know. Don't know. I sent them a link earlier to the little reminder right there. So that way I was hoping they could log in, but maybe it didn't work out like that. So I'll have to send it to them afterward.
Okay, all right. Real quick, hold on, stop. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened to my internet, but I think I just logged myself out of my own stream. But let's see, Texan, if you have a question for Matthew, Texan, go ahead and throw that in the comments. And while we're waiting for Texan to do that, we have to. Anytime we get a Matthew McConaughey mention, we all have to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna do it first, and then you have to do it, Matthew. Okay, best Matthew McConaughey impression. All right.
I don't really follow him too much. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You have to do it.
Okay, you know what? Let me give you. You know what? One of my favorite moves with him in. Hey, yep. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Mm-hmm. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Mm-hmm. What movie is that? Come on.
No idea, but you
The
get
Wolf
around
of Wall Street.
Oh, okay, God. Oh my God.
Oh God, you got to watch that movie. It's awesome.
Movement. Okay, so Texan had a question for you. Go ahead. It says, will you get the 48 Laws of Power, Mr. Matthew?
I've actually gotten it, and I'm slowly but gradually reading through it. But yeah, I'll try to make some time to read through it a lot more.
Does anyone else have any questions while we're here? Yes, Hot Dog, that was a good movie. The Wolf of Wall Street was a great movie. I don't know, maybe I was drunk when I watched it. It was long. I don't remember all of it. Anyway, anyone else have any questions for Matthew? Go ahead and throw them in before we close out this chat. But ladies and gentlemen,
any questions pertaining to my step 1 and step 2, you can send it into Red Pill, and we'll talk about that in future broadcasts. So maybe what you can all do, send all the political strategic warfare planning questions to Red Pill _Red Pill, or I'm sorry, Rage at protonmail.com. Send them to her, and I'll answer them in the next broadcast. And what I'll also do is maybe she can also display what we spoke about today here. So in case anybody wants to read through it, and of course you can keep watching this video and listen to everything I previously said, and just write down your questions and email them into her. It's probably the best thing to do.
Well, Texan has one more. Let's go ahead and take that one since he or she, I don't know if you're a boy or girl. Texan,
how can our ground game outmaneuver satellite imagery? Okay, well, I mean, we're not. What we're basically doing is, like, for instance, what I'm talking about is, like, we communicate in old school ways. For instance, like, okay, when we start a business, they're not going to pay attention to stuff like that. And, in doing business, you do business with the general public. Come on. But, we can then call each other on the phone, that we do that kind of off to the side and stay off the grid with that, and we save up a little money, invest in each other and build each other up, buy from each other, sell to each other, and we build ourselves up as an economy. I mean, the left has done it for so long. There's nothing, there's no reason for them to sit there and watch us like that, so don't worry about that. Okay. It's kind of like business to business doing businesses almost. That makes sense.
So what you're saying is, for starters, what we need to figure out what our analog communication methods are going to be, or at least where we can place our free speech without having it compromised. That's number one.
Right now, like you and me, for instance, we can email each other, you and me, and then other people right now can send them emails straight to you, and they can go to your website in the meantime, because that's your website. It's not controlled by anybody else but you. Think about it this way. The only reason Facebook and YouTube and all these are able to ban us is because we're posting stuff on their platform. That's like posting stuff on their website. Just like if somebody were to post something on your website, you'd have the power to ban them. You get it?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying by we need to get off these platforms and get on, like you were saying, new platforms, and we need to communicate with each other and build each other up. We really need to start thinking like entrepreneurs, and that's our artillery, I should say.
So again, going back to business, step 2 is to reinforce Patriot businesses and make sure that there's a connectivity between Patriot entrepreneurs and then, of course, Patriots who want to start their own businesses need to stay in connection with one another. And that's one of the reasons,
that's actually step 1. Step 1 is when using our forces we must seem inactive. Like, we seem inactive by basically doing regular business with regular everyday people out there, but we're working kind of behind the scenes with each other. You see what I'm saying? And we kind of don't get political on the surface, kind of lay low for a little bit, but we get political amongst ourselves quietly in the meantime until we build each other up. Step 2 was actually, if their forces are united, separate them. And that's when I was getting into once we've accomplished step 1. Step 1 is actually the entrepreneurial way.
Okay. All right. How do you, I know that you started a Facebook group, correct, Matthew?
Yeah, it's called, matter of fact, hold on. Bear with me just a second.
No problem. Just go ahead.
Again, sometimes I forget things because I got so much on my mind. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm only human.
When you're ready, just go ahead and give your socials so that people can find you and you can continue like
what I'll do, I'll also put my Parler name up there as well. Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, yeah. It's called the Red Friend Group on Facebook.
Okay.
Red Friends Club. The Red Friends Club. Here, I'll put a little, let me see if I can put a little link on here. Let's see if this works. I've never done this. Can everybody see that? It says private chat, so let me click comments. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. It's in the private chat. Let me put it in.
Sorry, I'm just still learning how to, first time I've ever done this, so I got to follow your lead and learn how this works.
What about, are you on any other social media platforms? Parler, obviously you're on.
Yeah, I'm on Parler. Let me put that up here. Bear with me just a second. I'll go to Parler here on my laptop. Where are you? Okay, let me pull it up. Bear with me just a second, please. Oh, come on. You logged me out again. Oh, I hate this thing.
I love that you brought up that issue with the social credit, because there is literally a Black Mirror episode. I don't know if you saw it. It's the one with Bryce Dallas Howard, where everyone's worth as a human being is determined by how many likes they have. So, yeah, I mean, I noticed the whole social credit system happening with MySpace. I noticed it back then, and now it's just even worse.
Oh, it won't let me pull it up right here. What I'll do is I'll get it then, and I'll probably have to get it here on my phone, and I will send it to you.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it on my Parler.
Yeah, you should be able to pull it up. It's Matthew at Magic. There's a reason I have that name. It's other business stuff I'm going to be doing.
It's at Matt.
MATTJIC.
Okay, this one has your last name. You sure you want to put it up?
Yeah, maybe I should make one with under. Maybe I should change it to Matthew Red Eye. I'll do that. So don't put it up just yet. I'll let you know when to put it up.
Okay. Cool.
I'll let you know.
Is there any other way that anyone can find you?
Well, they can communicate with you to get to me.
Okay. All right. Well,
like I said, they can send in questions, and the next time I'm on with you, I can answer them. We'll interact that way. Because like I said, why should I do this off of my own channel when I can come to you? Again, that's how we start working together. Okay?
Well, it looks like
look at this. I'm 30 years experience analysis programmer. If you got, yes. Thank you so much, Sal. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is how we Patriots work together and build each other up.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you, Sal. Thank you so much. Please reach out to Red Pill, and we'll keep you in mind right there. Thank you, sir.
You got it. All right. Cool. Thank you, Sal. Well, this has been incredible. We all need to go back and read The Art of War. If you read it before, it's time to read it again. If you never read it, read it now. I'm definitely going to read it now.
And then we have to start reading and applying, and bring up quotes from that and questions they might have and information they might have, so we can all share it with each other on these little episodes on your channel.
Okay. Oh, it looks like we got another volunteer.
I'm an infrastructure PM. Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you,
See, it's working already. It's working already. This is great. Thank you, Patriots. Thank you. This is how we fight back. This is exactly how we fight back.
Okay, we got one last question for you, and you knew it was coming. Where do you get that hat?
Where you get that hat? I actually was up in Hollywood the one day, up by Hollywood and Highland, and I found it on the shelf, and I bought it there.
Okay. Okay. Well, now we know.
Yes, I'm a conservative that lives in near downtown Los Angeles. How about that?
Well, awesome. Thanks for coming on the show, Matt. We have a lot to discuss. We got a lot of things we got to set up. Yes. All of us do. All of us do. So listen.
This is only the beginning. This is only beginning. So yeah, Sal and the other guy, please send your information to the Red Pill's email, and we'll be in touch, and we'll move forward on that right there.
All right, and real quick before we go, we got a troll. We got a troll. And
we got a troll.
We got a troll. First, they called us goofballs. Then they said, "Sounds like a cult to me."
Well, fuck you.
If loving your country is a cult, I don't want to be right.
What the? Wait a minute. What? It timed out. What'd they say?
They said that we sound like a cult. We sound like a cult.
Yeah, it's called using common sense and logic, asshole.
It's called not being a commie. Bye, commie. All right. Okay.
Maybe they're Antifa.
They could be, and that's fine. That's fine. Just screen them before you bring them on board. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Matthew. I'm going to let you go, and we will talk soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Red Pill.
You got it. All right, guys. How was that? We have me and Matt and I discussed a lot more ideas, and some of those things are going to take big money, big funding, big financing. And it's really hard right now because we know there's a lot of people who are financially strapped, and I get it. We have to find a way. We have to find out who the rich conservatives are, and we need to start getting some money from them. Brendan. Hey, Brendan. Hey, I've been talking to your boy, Genuine, pretty frequently. We've been texting every couple of days, and I'm going to be doing a live stream with Genuine on Friday. That's not one you're going to want to miss. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? It is the Marines. Hey, Truth or Talk in the house. Truth or Talk. Everybody say hello to First Team. Realize, 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 lies. How was that, girl? I got your back. Does anyone else have any questions? Dang, Verstein, you want to jump in the chat? I'll send you the... Hey, everybody say hello to Truth or Talk. Truth or Talk in the house. Why are you blushing? Truth, girl, you know everybody loves you. Everybody loves you, Truther. Everybody, girl, you know you're one of the biggest in the game. You, Bevan Beatty, Karen Kennedy. Who else? Me. All right, girl. Thanks for dropping in. I'll text you. Thank you, Truth or Talk. Bye, Truth or Talk. Everyone say goodbye to Truth Talk. Oh, thank you, Tony. I love you guys. I love my 5%ers. I love my ragers. Hey, Scott, how are you? Thank you. Scott says, I rock. Thank you. Or maybe that's for Truther. Yeah, she rocks. She's actually a singer, so I'm just a karaoke singer. She's a real singer. She's trained. Bye, Truther. Bye, Barstein. Hell yeah, Verstein is a little cute one. Hell yeah, she's beautiful. And she's pretty in real life too. She looks the same in real life, which was kind of weird because when she opened the door and I saw her, I don't know, I couldn't believe it was her. All right. Anyone else have any last questions for me? Any last questions for me? And guys, don't forget to join the Patreon. We want to make sure that you're on the Patreon and you'll get your shout outs and you'll get, I think I'm going to put private calls on there. So if you want private calls, we'll add that on there as well. And then I'm going to try to think of some more creative incentives. I apologize that I don't have better incentives, but I'm very new to this, so I'm trying to figure it out. And here is how you find me. Okay, so there we go. The American 5, the number 5%. Please jump on there. I have a $10 level, a $25 level, and a $50 level. If I could just get enough of you to do the $10 level, I'll be fine. Okay, so if you consider yourself a 5%er, if you consider yourself a fan, if I have made you laugh, if I have made you cry, if I have made you love your country more than you did before, if I have emboldened you to speak truth more than you did before, if I have encouraged you to get politically active on the local level, hook me up. Hook me up. All right, guys. All right. That sounds like that's it. Thank you, Texan, for being in the chat. It's been a long time since you've been in. Netman, thank you. Let me get you a link to donate. Hold on. Oh, it's 5%ers. Here we go. Sorry, 1 second. Here you go. All right, guys, there's the Patreon right there. Please go hit up the Patreon. Actually, I think I might have misspelled it myself. American 5%. Oh, that's my TikTok. Oops. I'm asking for money and I'm not even giving you guys the right not even giving you guys the right link. Let's see. It is 5%ers spelled all out. There we go. At 5%ers. Okay, you guys got it? You got it? You got it? Thank you, Texan. All right. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, everybody who was in the chat. Lioness, Leo, all of you. Thank you guys so much. All right. Am I drunk? No, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. This is how I always act. I just wasn't prepared. Gotta stay prepared, right? We're in war. Have to stay prepared. All right, we're almost at an hour here. This is I don't like super long lives. I have to get ready to go down to an event here in Las Vegas. I don't know if you are all aware, but it is the birthday of the Marine Corps. Today is the birthday of the Marine Corps. So if you know a Marine, show that Marine some love today. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to hang out and celebrate. And, you know, this is a very pro-military town. Las Vegas is very pro-military. So we'll go see what's going on out there tonight. So I got to get ready to go. Hope you all have a wonderful night and hit me up on the Patreon. Thank you guys.